Good evening to all presents. Today we have Crisia Moreau as an interview for the Cross-Cultural Business course. Hello, Crisia, how are you?
Good, hello, thank you for the interview.
We're gonna start with the first question. How many years have you been working in the current company and what is it called? And what kind of company do you work for?
Okay, this company is the same industry I have worked in the last 20 years, 19. And it's called Moss Precision. What they do is precision machining for metal parts and also precision welding. All the processes are automated.
Okay, thanks. The next question is, how do you consider leadership to be in the company you work for?
One thing that I like about this company that I just joined this year, I think their leadership is really engaged. They're really engaged, hands-on daily basis. It's a family-owned company, which makes a huge difference for what I've been used to in the last 2 decades. As the leadership is really engaged on daily activities, which you don't see often.
Okay. Next question is, does the company have more workers from other countries, or and how they handle the diversity of cultures?
Okay. Yes, they do. First question, do they have more people from other countries? They do. I think I'm the only one from Peru. And the owners are from Croatia. And there is a lot of Mexican workers in some of the areas, and a handful of Filipino and Vietnamese workers as well. And how do they handle it? I think they're very, it's also the law, right? Do not discriminate. The handbook of the company also is pretty straightforward on diversity, accepting everyone, and a non-discrimination policy, definitely. And one of the things they do to handle the diversity of cultures, they do make it a point to translate a lot of the documents, procedures, safety documents, they do translate to multiple languages.
Okay, so there's no problem between any of the people, of the workers.
There is still a little bit, but the company does everything they can to provide enough documents and enough languages.
Okay, that's pretty good. Next question is, how was your adaptation in the country, and do you have any culture shock or maybe some experience that you can share with us? And also, what did you miss most for in the first few months besides your family?
Okay. The shock, yes, there is a shock, definitely. You just don't see it the first month. That's my experience. Anybody who's been here less, just months, not years like me, there is a shock for everyone. But I think at the beginning, the first years for everyone is like, oh, look, this is new, let's learn. You're in a learning mode, and everything's new, it's nice, there's no contamination. At least here in California where I live, there's a lot of things, how the stores are displayed, transportation. All the buses you see them empty. You know, there's not like a full buses, as combis, none of that, right?
Right?
Yeah, so all that is new. And I wouldn't say it's a bad shock, it's just everything is new, you're learning. The thing that comes later, like months later, is when you have the emotional shock. And you see the culture, you start missing more things. The food, of course, we're Peruvian, we're gonna miss the food forever. Yeah. And then, sorry, what was that? Which number is this question?
This is number 4.
4, okay. Yeah, so how was that adaptation? When I came here, I only knew 2 or 3 words in English. Yes, hello, and I think I knew how to say my name.
Oh, so you learned English there?
I was forced to, I had to. By the time I decided I was going to stay here, even before that, I went to school, adult school. That's another thing the United States does. They do have free education for anyone who wants to learn English. Not schools in every city, but multiple counties provide English as a second language, the famous ESL. So that was pretty good. It was hard. It was hard. We're always gonna live with our accent, but nobody cares. Everybody has an accent here.
Everybody has an accent.
Nobody cares.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, I think I responded, any cultural shock, and what do you miss the most besides the family? My friends, all my friends are in Peru. So just Facebook, WhatsApp, those things help.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. The next question is, has there ever been a time when you have noticed that a boss or a worker has possibly expressed himself correctly in his country, but has had another meaning for you or another worker because they are from other countries or
Yeah.
cultures?
Yeah. And that happens with the rest of us who are foreign, right? Anyone who's born and raised here, that doesn't happen. But when I just came to California, I had a boss who was Mexican.
Okay.
And they will speak in Spanish. All of us will speak Spanish at work. And they will say things like, oye, cálale aquí. And I'll be like, cálale. I imagine a little blanket or pañuelito. And that I learned that week that I got here that try it, give it a try.
Yeah.
And I was like, nothing bad, but mainly from other Mexican, Nicaraguan residents and people who came from there, that we all think we all speak Spanish, but we don't communicate the same, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there
like
was not like an awkward moment between.
Not awkward. I will always ask, and then if I was the only one who didn't know, and I got shy, I will just try to put it together in the context, and that's how I learned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all right. Okay. So we pass to the next question. Is what are the habits in the work environment that you consider unusual, or maybe some activities that surprise you at the first time?
The first things that were, I wouldn't say unusual, but people, the culture here, people are really careful what they say at work. They're the respectful part, right? You're at work, you always want to carry yourself on a professional manner. You always want to be professional and show respect to everyone. But here, compared to my years that I worked in Peru, definitely the joking, the playing with words or things like that are completely different. You really have to watch what you say, because anyone could go to HR, which is human resources, and say, hey, this person is harassing me, or somebody was disrespectful, and definitely it gets documented and it gets followed up. Some people get fired for telling a joke that somebody took as an offense. For culture, there's a lot of things that the jokes I grew up with, definitely you cannot just bring them up here. Yeah.
Okay, pretty interesting.
Yeah, you cannot say, oh, ahí viene el chinito, or hola, negrito. No, that doesn't fly.
Okay, next question is it allowed to have an environment where the habits and customs of each one are maintained, or are habits of the company imposed? I mean, the company let you express your culture free, or you have to stay like the company say?
No, I understand that question. I think what I can share is most companies, even there are some regulations that they cannot be against. Even I was looking at the handbook this week from the new company I'm working at, and there's even requirements, for the employer to respect if employee has religious traditions, and if it's time needed, they do that. I think overall, all companies I work for here are really respectful of your traditions. They will only focus on the communication. They want to make sure you do understand, you do make an effort for learning English, not only because you're going to stay here and you're working here, but also because safety purposes. If they give you directions on something that has high risk, they want to make sure that you don't get hurt because you didn't understand what they say. So things like that, but there are really, really protocols to follow, but know that they oppose to your traditions. I think they're respectful of everything, and some embrace it and some want to do. I had a job, my first job here for years. I was there 11 years. They
Mhm.
will do, majority of people work from Mexico, like 80–90% of the employees. So when there was something to celebrate at a company, they'll do taco party, taco fiesta, and they'll have a truck and to embrace who they are, where they come from, their traditions, and to the point that is respected
Yeah.
and embraced. Mhm.
Okay, that's really nice. Okay, next question is, what is the biggest difference you could highlight between working in a Peruvian company and working in a United States company?
Uh, so there is, depending on the department,
Mhm.
you can have, for example, I work in quality. You have the director of quality, who's the lady who
Okay.
trains me. You have the quality manager, who's my direct boss, and me, who I'm quality engineer at the company. And then in the same group, you have the quality inspectors, the supervisors, and then they oversee the inspectors and other people, right? So that's pretty much in that department. If you go, which is quality, if you go to operations, then you start with the owner of the company to actually, he's above us too. Owner of the company, director of operations or general manager,
Mhm.
and then goes to the supervisors and then leads and operators. So that's pretty much like an overview. And it's
Okay.
pretty similar for other departments, human resources and customer service, pretty similar structure.
This question too, how is the relationship between the boss and the employees or the workers?
Pretty transparent, I think. They are very clear on what their expectations are. There's a lot of documents about that. And they communicate from the beginning. When you apply to the job, they tell you exactly what you're expected to do. And obviously, when you apply and you show your resume, you tell them, this is what I can do. They match it. It's very transparent. If there is something missing or you want to grow, I've noticed that every time an employee says, I want to learn more, I want to grow in this industry,
Mhm.
they will support what you want to learn. And if you're an operator, they'll help you grow and be a lead, maybe a supervisor, someday a manager. I think the relationship is pretty transparent and supportive.
Okay, thanks. That leads us to our last question. How do you manage the management of the company where you work, and what are the levels of authority in which you work? For example, boss, coordinator. I think you have already answered this, but maybe
Yeah.
explain a little bit more.
Yeah, I think in this company, what I like is that it's a little less steps in the pyramid. So it helps you accomplish any changes, any new ideas. It helps a lot that it's less. The previous company where I was at, it was owner, director of operations, and then like a bunch of managers and quality only, and then different groups, SPC, quality management system, customer relationship. And then it was too many. If there was a problem, you have to have like 5 meetings with everybody to make sure something happens. So yeah, definitely it makes it easier when there's a less big positions to report to.
Okay. They tell me to repeat question number 8 because we have to make sure we contrast Peru with United States. So, is there any big difference between working in a country or another?
You mean besides the paycheck?
Of course, besides the paycheck. I don't know, maybe when you talk to your boss, for example, here in Peru, you can talk face to face, and you don't have to, I don't know, talk to maybe another person to talk to your boss. I don't know if I.
Yeah, no,
Clear.
I'll say for that, it all depends. And now it's something about personalities, right? In each company, you'll have in each department all kind of different personalities. But it has to do how you approach people. So a lot of things depend on you, definitely. Biggest difference between working here in Peru. I'll say there's a lot more to do after work in Peru than when you're here.
Yeah, maybe
There's a
right.
lot. Yeah, definitely. It's not the same here. You're done with work and you still have to go home and do your numbers, worry about the bills, kids' homework. Yeah, for a person who comes from another country, from Peru, definitely is different, right? Because you don't have your whole support, your family support, your friends support. It's a different story for that, but working, just focusing on the work, I don't know. Honestly, I said it as a joke, but other than a paycheck, I think the structures for not customer, employee relationship, I think there is a more serious impact on what is
Yeah.
documents to follow on a respect for other people and the way you manage the words that you use.
The values of the company. Yeah.
Yeah, only that. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. Thanks again for your time. This information has been really useful for us and will be really useful for us. So,
Oh, awesome.
thank
I'm
you.
glad I could help you guys. Definitely. Good luck with your assignment.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Take care.
Yeah.